All right, it's day 3. And the question that dropped today is, what is the name of the company that Michael Copper and Lilian Ronashi own together? Now this, nothing came to my head, right? Nothing came to my mind. So let's roll up our sleeves and let's figure out where the answer is from. It is actually in Alphacore number 1. So then get your copy from Rippaverse.com if you haven't, but I'll show you the scenes or pages of where you could find the answer. And before I do that, Alphacore is actually a really good book. I read it, and there's one big scene that I really want to talk about. And in this scene here, this is actually the end of one of the biggest scenes or events in the Rippaverse comic book world that I thought was really amazing. I thought it was going to be something epic. Well, it is, but it ended shortly. And here is the ending scene of something that happened in Alphacore number 1. And it's a big scene, one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. And it involved a detective in Alphacore, somebody that no one thought of, but he was very detailed in his work. He actually had the same qualities, I think, as Ingrid Valdez in terms of detailed detective work. And they talked a little bit with each other in the book. But this scene, if you go to it, I think if you reread it, this is one of the biggest scenes. And this detective, his name is Wilkins. I don't know how this ended so quickly, but this guy is the hero in this book, at least in Alphacore number 1. And I really don't think we're going to see the end of him, but that's just me speculating. But go back and see the scene. It's really, really big. One of the biggest events ever written so far out of all the Rippaverse comic books, in my opinion, so far. But if you check out this scene here, this right here, if you scroll into the book, you might be thinking, okay, there's the company, right? Lust. No, that's just some place where they go to do business. They probably go to all kinds of clubs, such as Club Merc, where they just meet people in Florespark just to kind of network, right? So no, this is not the answer. That's not their company. I recommend not using this for the end of the month quiz. But towards the end, this is the scene where you will find the answer. And it came from none other than Ingrid Valdez. I don't think it's ever going to come from Brian Solari or Braxall because they're not as detailed. But after I reread this, I remember this whole spiel that Ingrid going into detail of how much stuff Lilian Ronashi and Michael Copper owns. And in this scene, I won't show the answer right here. I'll put it in the description later, but go back to the scene. You will find out which company Lilian and Michael owns, or at least are majority shareholders in. But this is a very funny scene. It's a very good send-off to Michael and Lilian, because it's like they're going to meet up again, right? And I think Ingrid has a thing for them, and she doesn't want to let them go. So we're going to see more of them, probably in Alphacore number 2, 3, whatever more books we have Alphacore. But Alphacore is one of my favorite books so far, written by Chuck Dixon and penciled by Joe Bennett. So get your Alphacore book, and if you have it already, reread it. It's a really good book. I'll see you tomorrow on day 4.